There's been some question about things, and those things are as follows. Boom! These are what the players' mechs look like right now. Look at this beautiful color-coded scheme right here. That's what their forces look like. I want to point out this beautiful Devastator missing a crap ton of armor.
It's missing it's missing exactly 179 armor plates.
So
we also have
Lance of Urban Mechs.
The secondary forces. I don't think the Centurion's totally gone. That might be inaccurate, but you'll notice that there's 3 heads missing.
I think the Centurion was gone. I think the Center Torso got blown out.
You did right here, Centurion destroyed.
That could be. That could be.
And then everything else got hit in the head and just knocked out.
We recovered 30 armor plates and 30 internals.
So, let's talk about things, friends. Let's talk about things indeed. Previously on this show, we cumulatively, as players, as I was a player last week, escaped the deathly clutches of Grimdark James in his attempt to wipe out all secondary forces and then murder all of you. You managed to walk away with what could be called a victory. Your mechs, walking through the front gates, watched as several clan bondsmen killed themselves rather than be forced to associate with you. Other clans' bondsmen began placing bond cord on themselves, indicating that they were willing to submit to the military victory of this situation. Awaiting you at the mech bay, where the 16 mechs of Crow's Black would normally be stored, there is someone dressed in non-clan clothing waiting for you. He's a man probably about 6 foot tall, hard to tell from your Battlemech height, but probably some form of clan military officer. He has a certain air to him, and as with most clanners, he has definite genetic enhancements. Very beefy. He's ripped. I mean, he's like Khal Drogo level of ripped. But with the shaved head. He's like if Khal Drogo and Raddosaurus were combined into one person.
Is there like a zoom function on the mech that could use the...
Yeah, you just say enhance, and it will enhance. You can even specify which quadrant.
Engage enhanced optics.
Maybe see if there's like a ranking or something on the gentleman.
As mentioned, he's not wearing traditional clan clothing.
Okay.
He's not wearing a jumpsuit or a tech outfit of any kind. He's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt and like pink pastel pants.
I'm gonna open my comms to Ronan, and I'm not getting out of my mech as long as that guy's standing there.
Yeah, as soon as the camera switches over to Ronan hearing that message, you see that she also has her enhanced optics engaged, but there's a crosshair on the guy instead of like just checking him out. Like she 100% has her flamer locked on target, and her only response is I
think Bandia is going to message him. Sir,
Yes.
Which one of us is going to talk to the gentleman?
I will go speak with him.
I'll go with you. I won't talk. I'll go with you.
Very, very, very well.
I'll be your eyes.
Ronan, try not to kill any of them unless we're provoked, please. Thank you.
Over the comms is just Roger, and the flashman starts to walk away because that's the only way she's not going to immediately. I'm going to go back to the gate, and I'm going to stand sentry at the gate and begin radioing all of the stranded infantry that we have out in the field. And
they're making their way forward.
Yeah, I'm starting guiding everybody in.
They're like, these are militia. No one here has any experience with the clans except for Rapier. So they're all like gathering everybody up as prisoners. And, a lot of these green militia folks that were, days ago, just regular people are looking at all the dead bodies from folks who've stabbed themselves in the neck or in the stomach. And they're just horrified, completely shook, unable to process that, there are a ton of dead people here that appear to have just committed suicide.
And I still have Citadel in my cockpit with me too.
No, I feel like all of the extra pilots are
They'll
climbing
go.
out of the mech now. I mean, if not, Black Rabbit's cockpit would be completely full of people.
No, I said I
Like
kicked
a
him out when we got
Yeah,
to safety.
exactly. There would be a tea party going on in there.
I feel like they all just slide down like a chute that she opens up at the
Like a
bottom of the
freaking clown car.
Isn't there also like a group of infantry that were the essentially the Lyran Special Forces people?
Yes, they're with your Revengers.
Oh, okay.
They again also do not have any clan experience. They're Loki agents.
Yeah, so I'll if that dude he seems like a type of person in charge-ish, perhaps.
He seems to have a personality.
Okay. So
Sir, I
not your
think-
bog standard NPC. So I will actually exit my mech and
Okay.
I'll
You ride your little ladder
I'll exit mine
level.
as well. Keeping
So-
an eye out.
As you do, you notice he has a cane in his hand, and he just like taps it as he walks toward you, and holds his left hand out and says, "Those eyes, how unusual. I could fix that, you know."
How do you mean?
Well, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jerome Curie. I am Clan Steel Vipers, although I guess I should say Clan Crow's Black administrator of this facility.
I am Captain Maxwell. I shake his hand.
Harridan, Captain Maxwell Harridan.
Oh, my apologies. I was attempting to not cause offense during our first meeting. I know that clanners tend to dislike our use of surnames.
He quirks an eyebrow at you.
I quirk an eyebrow at him.
I think Bandy is really wanting to like pipe up here, but he's gonna just hold himself back.
I mean, the Jerome Curie turns to look at you because he's no idiot. I mean, he sees you vibrating. Is there something you need, Lieutenant?
I was just going to say it's the whole, you know, two names, blood name thing. It's
I
usually causes
understand.
offense.
In the clans, they do not recognize it, but the lower castes, such as myself, have something called a lab name. Scientists compete with each other, presenting theories, and those who provide forward-thinking abilities and technologies and processes and systems are granted what we call lab names, after the famous scientists of the past.
Did we just get the clan version of Baron? Are they going to be best friends? Is this going to be? It's going to be like a, a stepbrother situation. Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Interesting. Just starts taking out a notepad and writing furiously.
Captain
Absolutely.
Harridan, or perhaps I can call you Maxwell.
By all means.
I would be willing to in-bond myself and the rest of my technical teams to you rather than commit bonds ref. We have a strong will to live, and many of us disagree with the situation we've been placed in here. I have several concerns and several terms before we turn ourselves over to Clan Crow's Black.
Well, I'd be interested in hearing those terms.
Among the Steel Viper clan, we maintain a sort of military purity. The only members allowed to serve in the military are trueborns, like myself. Those who have been genetically engineered to be humanity's defenders, the pure perfection and distillation of generations of warriors. Unfortunately, as you may or may not know, probably not know, when a teenaged clansman is forced to go into their first engagement, they must face multiple experienced pilots and defeat one of them. It is my unfortunate circumstance that during my first battle I failed to defeat an enemy and was demoted out of the warrior caste forever. Now, while I have lived what I'd like to consider a useful life for the clan, our clan's almost schizophrenic lack of awareness of our own hypocritical values has come to a head here in the Inner Sphere. For some reason, our fellow Steel Vipers believe that all Inner Sphere should one day become glorious members of Clan Steel Viper, and yet we crush them underfoot and will not allow them to join us as anything more than the lowest castes. They will never become politicians or warriors. They may not even become scientists and administrators. Why would the Inner Sphere ever submit themselves to rule by Clan Steel Viper, no matter how much the Steel Vipers may wish to serve and protect them?
Your reasoning and logic seem flawless so far.
Excellent. Then allow me to bring myself to my point. If my people and I were to surrender to you, I personally would like to be awarded with what I believe you referred to as a Mechwarrior billet. I would like a second chance to serve my clan as a warrior.
Ooh.
Now, it has been some time since I served in a mech, almost 2 decades, but I assure you that I have been refining my ability as best the clan technician scientist can.
Just kind of look around.
Lieutenant, is there something wrong?
I'm sorry. Sorry. I was just nodding along, like I was following. I'm just affirming that I'm listening to you as I just like lean over to the hair and just like.
Now, my offer may not be attractive enough for you, Captain. I can see very plainly that you require cybernetic augmentation. I assume that your eyes have either been removed or severely damaged.
They were damaged, yes.
As a scientist, I have some medical experience. I'm being modest. I am a doctor, as you would put it. In fact, organ replacement is my area of speciality. Should we recover the technology from one of our dropships, I would be capable of fundamentally re-engineering the Inner Sphere medical systems. It would not be unreasonable to have a replacement set of eyes grown from your genetic palette that were as good or superior to what you previously had.
Do you know where one of the dropships might be?
I have a great deal of information as the administrator of this base. I might not have the highest level of military access, and of course the computer systems were purged on your arrival, but within my mind, there are a vast trove of information that you might put into use.
But you've come here, you've brought yourselves before us with integrity and respect, and I would see it returned in kind. So if you wish to join us as a Mechwarrior, then we will welcome you, of course.
So he gestures to his left hand where he's got 3 white cores, and he says, the rest of my men, you may cut 1 or 2 of their cords, but to recognize that I am a warrior, you must cut all 3. I understand if you would rather not have me serve in your current conflict, but once it ends, I will expect that our deal will be fulfilled.
Well, if it's one thing I know about the clans in general and how you comport yourselves, honor above all else, if I'm not mistaken.
I would point out that I am effectively disobeying the orders of my superior and betraying what one would consider the way of the clans.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained then, I suppose.
So he holds his left arm out.
Can't.
I pull my sword out and I cut the bonds.
Oh, shit. A sword? Not like a knife?
That's the only sharp object I have on me.
He seems a little surprised for a moment. He doesn't make like, oh no, he's gonna kill me, but he does seem slightly alarmed. He says, excellent. We have several spare crow's black jumpsuits. I will go procure one shortly and relay orders to my team. I think you will find that most of your rooms have been converted. Any personal effects you may have had have been destroyed, unfortunately.
Well, we can worry about all that later.
My
Right
conspiracy
now, we
ball.
all have a great deal to do, and not much time to do it in.
I will order my tech teams to begin the salvage and repair operations, but you may need to further subdirect them. I'll be back in a few minutes with the jumpsuit. I've been wearing these inner sphere clothes in order to make some of our locals feel more accessible to me, but they are rather flamboyant.
It looks great on you. Really.
I understand
Thank
completely.
you.
I love that he pilfered Heavy Seven's leftover wardrobe.
Probably the only thing there is.
That would fit him, yeah.
Yeah, so he leaves to head into the barracks and go swap to a jumpsuit, which leaves Murder 6 and Bandito on the ground, Black Rabbit watching over them in the mech, and Ronan outside. Outside Ronan, you watch all of the clan technicians who were standing around suddenly move into focus. They grab jeeps and other vehicles and begin heading out of the base.
I move over to Bandito and I open up comms so we all can talk, and I say, well, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that the remainder of the clan staff here are now proud members of Clan Crow's Black.
That it's really it somehow works. It feels weird, but it still works as far as the whole clan thing goes. All right.
Molly says nothing, but she makes a face in her cockpit of disgust.
Ronan, I can almost feel that grimace from here. You and I should talk later.
About what?
Roger.
About the clan thing?
I close the comms. Yeah, yes, about the clans.
Oh, okay.
Ronan, I think, hates clanners about as much as more so than I do, probably.
I couldn't quite tell after her
aside, but I don't think she will be able to.
I couldn't quite tell after her terribly incinerating one.
Well, just reminds me of a few other pilots we might have had in the past, you know?
Yeah. Just two.
Well,
and no more.
Let's take stock of everything and see what we can find, see if there are any survivors, and see if we can find the rest of our wayward comrades.
Yeah, I think
there are no Crow's Back survivors here. You do find a number of unmarked, I wouldn't even call them graves, just like mass disposal area that has been recently overturned.
Are we fast forwarding in time a little bit? Can I say I'm down on the ground now too?
Sure. Okay. When you're down on the ground, Rapier pulls you aside and says, Sergeant, can you come with me? Just wanted to give you a tour of the base real quick.
Sure.
So let me ask.
Actually, I'm going to check with Harridan first, right? Because I'm going to check with my direct spirit to make sure he doesn't have any other tasks for me at the moment. Because I feel like I'm as soon as I get down from my mech, I go to Harridan like immediately. So when Rapier's like, "Come this way," I look over at Harridan just for some sort of approval.
I just nod. I don't think we'll have anything for the next while, so
I go with Rapier.
So let me ask, what kind of personal armaments do you have on you at the moment? I mean, do you carry a knife and a las pistol? Got a auto shotgun?
She carries like a standard soldier loadout, like all the time. So she has a sidearm, she has body armor, and she has a primary weapon, so like an assault rifle or like an SMG. Since she just came out of the cockpit, she's probably got something small.
So he leads you through the barracks and then points out a room. He says, well, that was supposed to have your name tag on it, but it looks like they removed all the stuff. Toss your kit in there and then keep following me.
She does not toss her kit in there. She says, well, if it's all the same with a base full of clan personnel, I'd rather remain mission capable.
That's an order.
I'm going to respectfully decline your order. You can take that up with my direct superior at your earliest convenience. petty officer.
So
She stands there. It just stares blankly at him.
he gets on his communicator and just like turns aside and says, Captain,
Yes, what is it?
the sergeant is not chill and is refusing orders to disarm and leave her stuff in her bunk.
I mean, you have to understand, she holds a deep mistrust for the clanners, and right now I don't think I would be able to get her to disarm. So there's no reason or need for it. So I would suggest letting this one slide.
Sir, I strongly suggest that Sergeant Olson chill out, sir.
Tomorrow, okay?
He's wording it really weirdly, too.
She's standing in front of him,
Yes.
watching him do this.
Yes.
So she's only becoming twitchier and twitchier, but none of that shows. But in her head, she's screaming.
Rapier,
I'm just taking her on a tour of the base, sir.
let it go. That is an order.
Understood, Captain. All right, Sergeant. Why don't you keep following me?
Sounds great, sir.
Your level of respect for me is astounding, really. I am blown away.
I didn't think that I could have done that any more respectfully than I did. I'm sorry you feel that way.
All right. Here's the conference rooms. Why don't we go inside and sit down for a moment?
I thought this was a tour of the facility.
We can get several things accomplished in here using the
I have to be
computers.
honest, sir. Your demeanor, your strategy here for segregating me from the team and bringing me over here is highly suspect, and I'm not 100% feeling secure for my own personal safety. So, with all due respect, what is it you want? Because it's not to give me a tour of the base.
I want to have a talk about your past and your future.
And why do we need to do that in a room alone with me being unarmed?
There is some concern about your reaction. Just take
Okay.
a seat.
So let me tell you out of character. Internally, here's what's happening.
Screaming noises.
Yes. First of all, she already suspects that she's onto something. And she knows that if her current subject of investigation is now onto her, and that would and that them knowing who she is would make them fear her, it almost 100% confirms what it is she's trying to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
But then why would Harridan let her keep her weapons?
And that's all going through your head as he's gesturing for you to sit down. He himself is already sitting down.
Does he appear to be armed?
He does have a service pistol, but that's it. He does not have his traditional rocket launcher, but only because he's out of rockets. He also does not have his rapier, but only because it's out of rapiers.
Let me look at my character sheet real quick here.
Is it like reloadable rapiers? Like it just once you use the blade once, it just breaks off, and then you have to.
Well, it's like Attack on Titan. You've got a couple of reloads.
Oh yeah.
This could not only. Oh man, this is not going well.
The oversized breakaway razor blades.
Just open Excel, you
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Which
I have to look and check some things because this could be.
Let's cut sideways then.
Yeah, do that for a second.
We
Let's
see
cut
the
away from
conference room door automatically closing. Shh.
Imperial.
I haven't said that I step in there yet, but yes, that's likely what will happen.
Meanwhile, Black Rabbit. The
Oh, can I-
man in the horrible clothing has left.
Can I ask before you get started, how much XP did we get last week?
117 plus 1 for mech kill and 1 for pilot kill.
So I got 117.
Yeah, same. Oh, no, wait.
No, you killed a pilot. You shot him down while he was running.
Hell yeah.
I need to open up my sheet.
So, what's going on with you, Black Rabbit?
Black
There's lots of
Rabbit's-
clans people running around. Your infantry kind of seem to be getting with the program. Some people are dragging all the dead bodies out of the way.
She's following Harridan and Bandito in her mech.
All right, so they're like walking over the mech bay. Every time you walk in a 100-ton mech, they like jump off the ground half an inch.
Sounds like a them problem and not a me problem.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Bandito's going to come up to Black Rabbit. Hey, Black Rabbit, you can step out of the mech now.
Why?
Well, when you walk with the mech, it tends to cause a slight tremor with the earth that sends everything not mech sized up in the air a little bit.
That sounds like a you problem.
I feel like it's like turns out the converse. Like, I feel like if I said that's an order, she's going to not do it out of just spite. I got an idea. Black Rabbit, can you please step out of the mech?
As soon as you mop up all of the blood from all of the dead bodies.
Okay, fair enough.
Howler steps in and just like calms in and says, "That's gonna be a while."
Fine by me.
Sergeant Lockwood, maybe you'd like to do perimeter patrol?
Why?
So nobody comes up behind us or tries to enter the base while we're all getting out of our mechs and salvaging stuff.
Are you just trying to get me out of the base?
Well, every time you take a
You could
step,
just-
it becomes extremely difficult to work.
You could have just asked me nicely to walk outside.
I did.
But you asked me to do the perimeter, which is technically
Yes, but you also are a military pilot, and this is a military operation.
if you can call it that.
Captain
Well, she
Harridan.
gets
So
really from
again, Howler is still on the comms. He's just like, Captain Harridan, I understand, and I appreciate your patience with me when I was a younger man.
Black Rabbit, can you please?
I just comes back. I just comes him back. It's Black Rabbit, isn't it?
Sir, the line is open right now.
Oh, yes. Well, now you know how it feels. I close the comms. Good luck. Wrecked.
I'm not your superior or anything, Sergeant. Just if you feel like maybe protecting this base is important, perhaps you'd like to take a walk outside while the dead bodies get removed.
I will see. I will
Sure.
one-on-one comms Black Rabbit. Black Rabbit, may I ask why you were so reticent to exit your mech?
What?
Why are you not wanting to leave your cockpit?
I like my mech.
All right. Do you understand we have things to take care of, though, yes?
I'm aware.
All right. Well, if you need anything, let me know. I suppose.
You could clean up all of the dead bodies.
Yes, we are working on that right now. Unfortunately, it's going to take a bit of time because we're going to have to ID everyone to the best of our capabilities. Right. Well, let me know if you need anything.
Mm-hmm.
Harridan out.
I could have gone better, sir. I don't think she likes the bloody mess that is our base at the moment.
I don't disagree with her in the slightest. I just wanted I wanted that conversation with her so she'd know that I wasn't going to try and pressure her out of her mech.
Indeed. Sir,
Now-
I want to make a suggestion.
Yes.
I think maybe someone else comes along with me, need to go up north and check out was it ravines up north?
Yep.
Yeah, the ravines.
In what mech?
I wasn't going to use a mech.
Well,
I
I
want to
think
use a car.
that is an idea, but I think we need to get everyone together so we can figure out a plan of action. Means we have a lot to do and probably not much time to do it in. We don't even know if there are other clan forces left on this continent. They're going to come breathing down our necks looking to take the castle back.
When you say that, almost cat-like in his appearance out of nowhere, gosh, I don't even know what to call him now. Can we call him Mechwarrior? Sergeant? No, Jerome Curie shows up behind you and is just like, there are several more clan forces. In fact, one is on its way and will arrive in about 2 hours.
Oh,
Fantastic.
It will be easily dealt with.
How so?
When your people are prepared and ready, I will provide you with a briefing in about 10 minutes if you'll allow me to finish collating some data within the computer systems. As I mentioned, everything was deleted, but I'm working to get some data that I have memorized put back in. I'll be providing a little simulation of what will happen when the clan force approaches this base.
All right. Well, then
Okay.
carry on. So, Bandito, request denied.
yeah, I see that. I'm just going to hop into Devastator then.
It's all janky and fucked up.
I mean, there's several parts where there's sparks flying out of it.
Yeah.
And hope that no one hits my left torso.
So Jerome looks up and says, "Oh, if you get brain damage, don't worry. I'm capable of fixing that. I can just grow you part of a new brain."
Boom.
Again,
Problem solved.
from what I heard is we need to find a drop ship.
Oh,
That-
right. Well, I assumed we were going to win.
Yeah. Just
Oh.
take those PPCs off and put 2 more Gauss rifles on. 4
You
Gauss
see-
rifles, baby.
If we lose, I'll be dead. So
It
That's
won't matter
I
either
mean-
way.
Yeah.
you should only look on the positive side, really.
I like your outlook, Jerome.
Thank
You're
you.
going to get
You know,
along.
there had been
I
some
actually
good-
prefer that you use my full name, Jerome Curie.
My apologies, Jerome Curie.
You know what? Why don't you call me Dr. Curie? I've been waiting my entire life, really, to be called that.
Well, Dr. Curie,
Thank you.
thank you so much for your assistance.
Thank you, Captain Harridan. It will take some getting used to.
Perhaps we should make your call sign Doc.
I prefer Doctor. The Doctor, really.
The Doctor. Very well. It is done.
Is there any way we can get like one of the Mad Cats out there online as well?
How long will it take to swap out cockpits and
Don't worry, I have all of that information in a spreadsheet. I've done all of the math for you already. Feels like it's been 3 hours.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go into the Devastator and hope that nothing bad happens and that this is as much of a cakewalk as you say it is.
Why don't you relax?
I live my life not relaxed? All right.
Well, perhaps you'd like to start clearing out your former bunk. I don't know exactly which one was
2
yours. but-
hours to prepare for an incoming assault. So I
Oh, it
suggest-
is not. It will not be an assault. As I mentioned, it will be dealt with very, very briefly and intensely. You have no worries at all.
In the meantime, because I'm a careful person, let's see what we can do to get the base's defenses back online. Get what mechs we can repaired.
The base defenses will simply require the gate password.
Oh,
One.
We weren't able to replace it. It's not like we cared about that kind of thing.
4, 5.
Actually, those defenses will play a pivotal role in defeating the incoming clan assault.
yeah, we should get those online like now.
Perhaps you'd like to get out of your mech and go to the gate and put the password in.
I haven't gotten to my mech yet.
Well, why don't you take a jeep over there?
We'll go to the gate.
All
and
right,
put the
I'm going
password
to go to
in
the
unlock.
command center. Feel free to join me when you're ready.
So I will go make sure that the turrets are online and operational.
Should I go check my bunk, sir?
Yes.
I'm afraid for my conspiracy wall.
Yes, you go.
The last thing we see
Sorry, what?
is Vincent Gray going into his room. There's no name card outside of the room. It's just a hospital coroner's bed, and there's no conspiracy wall. The corkboard is on the floor, and there's nothing on it. He runs it in slow motion. He's like, no! Meanwhile, we cut back to Sergeant Olsen.
Yeah, she's sitting across a table from Rapier.
So he pulls out his pistol at that point, slowly, very slowly.
Oh, she's already got her hand on her pistol under the table.
All right. Then he,
On Solo style.
puts a bullet
Yes,
into the
100%.
pistol and then ejects the rest of the magazine and slides the pistol pointing towards him over to Molly.
She'll catch it with her left hand while her right hand's still on her pistol.
Understood.
And then
Your
wait.
attempt to hide your identity, Molly, it's not gone particularly well. There were several problems with your file when I received it, and from what I can tell from Lyrian intelligence, they tagged you entering the Federated Commonwealth as well. I think we both know why you're here.
Why don't you tell me why you think I'm here, sir?
I think you're looking for answers about a death.
And where would you suggest I find these answers you think I'm looking for?
I want you to understand that this conversation doesn't leave this room one way or another.
Oh, I understand that.
And I want to let you know that if you feel that it's necessary to get revenge against Crow's Black, you can use that pistol that has one bullet in it. But if there's anyone that is responsible, it's me. However, what happened and what you believe happened are probably two very different things.
Explain it to me. As soon as the words come out of his mouth, if anyone's responsible, it's me. The hand on the left hand on the pistol that's on the table cocks the hammer back.
There's a period of Crow's Black history that we don't talk about. A secret contract that we took on behalf of a client you don't need to know about. That took us to a planet where you and I have both been before. I know because we passed right by each other. The unit you engaged on planet Rubigen was Crow's Black. Now, we have recordings of your exchange with some of our crew members, in particular one, well, ass-faced I really thought I could get Rad to laugh there. Sorry. I know this is a really serious situation, but I was hoping he would laugh at the memory of his own actions.
Yes, absolutely.
There were 5 opposing Mechwarriors there that day. We only faced 4 of them. A Wolfhound, a Victor, a Warhammer, and a Rifleman outside Rubigen's capital city. At the distance, there was an Atlas piloted by, some would say, the infamous, others would say the very famous Kenneth Cross. Now, what you should know is that I was the closest person to that incident when it happened. I'm the only one who really knows what happened there that day. So yes, we fought before. Your mech passed within meters of my hiding position on the northern end of the battlefield before you moved your Wolfhound to engage the rest of my forces. And so I was in a great position to watch as that hyperpulse generator field with its radiation bomb hit Kenneth Cross's mech. Now, I don't know if you know this, but we don't have that kind of technology. There's only 2 groups of people I know that do have that kind of technology. One of them's Comstar, and the other is the Clans. But if you're looking for the person who was closest to Kenneth Cross when he died, that's me. There's no need to take revenge on the rest of our unit. There's no need to take revenge on us at all, but Regina, if you need a body to take home with you. Now, I can provide you all the sensor data I had at the time, but I suspect that your mech probably had a better view of it. But we didn't have anything to do with that. And I'm willing to provide you with
She picks the pistol up and points it at him.
Willing to provide you with all of our gun cam footage.
You expect me to believe that you had nothing to do with this. And I lost the only person ever willing to take me in and make anything of my life to some sort of magical, technologically impossible freak occurrence.
Space
from
magic,
one
yes.
of 2 organizations that have absolutely no motive or presence at all during the terrorist operation that your unit drove into an area that you had nothing to do with. You want to tell me that nobody here is to blame, and you would expect me to sit across this table and believe you. Tell me this, petty officer, would you believe any of this if someone told you that a miraculous occurrence had killed the only person you would have ever called a father in your life, when the guilty party is clearly sitting right in front of you?
Let me throw something back to you.
Just answer my question, or I'm going to be throwing something at you.
Do you believe Comstar to be innocent in all of this? You can clearly see them siding with the clans here.
She shoots the pistol right off his right shoulder and then pulls the other one with her right hand to point at him.
Okay, I mean, everybody in the base here's a gunshot.
I asked you a question. Do not answer my question with another question.
What you believe is up to you.
How can you possibly expect me to believe that garbage?
So you can see that he's not keeping his calm very well, but he's still seated, but probably going into adrenaline shock. Like, his face is white, his eyes are white, his hand is shaking. I am telling you.
She's deathly still and steady.
The truth, Molly. Regina. Whatever you want to be called. I have the data to back it up. We can show you how it went down from our side. But look around you. You think anyone predicted that Rasselhag, that the Federated Commonwealth and the Draconis Combine would fall to magical invaders using super mechs from beyond the periphery Strange things happen every day. You really think that Comstar or the clans couldn't kill Kenneth Cross?
Why would I believe that they want to?
Look at some of the units that are being taken out now. Kenneth Cross was a legendary badass.
I'm not trying to break the mood of the scene here, but I want you to know that I have very heavy thunderstorms in my area, and it is possible that I lose power at any moment.
All right.
Which would be a great cliffhanger, but I'm just letting you know.
Kenneth Cross was an inspiration to all Inner Sphere pilots. Look at what his death has done. His motivational videos and training regimens were used across the Inner Sphere by
And
children.
your unit's presence was a convenient, what, happenstance?
We arrived before you did. But I would point out that you are also a mercenary, and they were acting, your unit was acting as a mercenary unit, as were we. And that's war. I think you already know that. I think you're old enough to know that. It wasn't personal, but we didn't do it. Yeah, we both lost people in fights between our units there, but we didn't kill your boss, your leader.
I'm assuming
We can't tell you who did.
At some point.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, all of you heard the gunshot. The only question is, what do you do?
Why put 2 and 2 together there?
I think Benito would immediately head to the gunshot, not knowing what's going on.
So the two of you arrive at the conference room. The outer area is, windowed and transparent, but the door is locked from the inside.
And we just see.
Oh yeah, you definitely see Molly seating at the table with 2 pistols in her hand, pointed at Rapier.
Sir, did you know something about this?
So there's a window?
I mean, it's a conference room. It's transparent.
So I see them on the other side?
Yeah, you can see them. They're like right. You can see them through the window. They're just faces pressed up against it. You can see them trying at the door.
I still have my pistol pointed at Rapier.
Yes, I thought you still had the other pistol as well.
The other one is like kind of on the desk, right?
Okay.
Like I'm not still pointing at him.
right.
It doesn't have a round in it. But I assume the slide is locked back.
Sure.
So she drops the mag from that pistol, sets it down, inserts a new mag into it.
So there was no mag in it. He removed the mag when he. But yeah, you just put a new
she
magazine.
puts her own mag in it.
Yep.
And locks the slide on that too, and then just holds that in her hand.
Rapier goes, "This is not going how I
with
thought it would."
awareness
Really.
towards the door.
Bandito, I suggest you return to your quarters.
I am unconvinced.
I kind of lean through the window, kind of peeking, and I knock.
Honestly, for all of our sakes,
at this point, like she is still like 100% focused. Like her hands aren't shaking. She has built the last like year of her life around this moment. So she is absolute 100% resolve, but like tears are just like streaming out of her eyes at this point. But that's the only like emotional tell on her right now.
Sir, if there's something that I need to know here, I probably need to know.
Oh yes, Molly. Yeah, she thinks you killed Kenneth Cross, and she wants to kill you. Go to your quarters, please.
He's still talking
I feel
to
like
her.
I should talk
right?
to
You can't hear anything through the conference room.
She's frozen in a decision right
I know
now.
you
like,
feel like you should talk to her, but right now I think you're the last person that should be talking to her.
She has
Honestly,
a whole
Molly,
shitstorm going on in her head right now.
This is not going how I thought it would. I mean, we
How
can
did
prove
you think this
that
would
we
go?
didn't do it. All right, we can't prove who did do it, but we can prove that we didn't do it. All right.
How thick is the door?
It's pretty thick. I mean, it's a military base.
It's thick enough to stop a pistol round, more than likely.
Yes. Well, it did stop a pistol round, so.
And what now? So what now? Let's say you have proof. What am I supposed to do now? You've brought me in this room and you've shoved me in this corner. What future do I have here now?
You go back to work?
And if I walk out of here and I see your proof and I'm unconvinced,
I mean,
then what?
I can show it to you now.
I come back and find you?
I think you already know that if you walk out of this room armed, it's not going to end well for you.
Well, it's not going to end well for several people, and you're going to be the first person it doesn't end well for.
I'm aware, and that's why I'm in here and not Harridan.
Well, that's admirable that you're willing to fall on your sword, but someone's going to fall
We have
on
a
it.
really, really good benefits plan for
They have a-
survivors.
She ignores it.
So yeah, also
Are
Rapier
the
ignores
walls
it.
bulletproof? Is the window
Yes.
bulletproof?
Yes.
Okay. She's going to knock back here in a second.
I mean, the bullet that you shot at Rapier is probably like embedded where
Embedded in
Maxwell
the wall.
Harridan's head
Yeah.
is. Like he has to
Oh, so
look
he's
around the
behind-
spider
he's
webs.
behind where...
Yes.
Okay. All right, got it.
Is this like a physical lock or is it like a computer lock?
It's a computer lock.
If you unlock this
Don't
door,
we have?
walk in.
Don't we have? Don't we have override codes?
You do, but Rapier is the one who locked the door.
Sir, I could hack in this if you want to get in.
I don't want you anywhere near that woman right now.
Actually, I feel like if I go in there, I can tone down the slaughter a little bit.
Bandito.
feel
I
like
think I could negotiate my way out of this. Everyone in the area begins running in the opposite direction.
Like, I feel like we should probably let Rapier handle it. Didn't I order you back to your quarters? Like,
While they're
twice?
talking outside, she'll kind of motion for him to, if she's got proof right now to show her,
Military
then just show her
discipline.
right now.
My
Okay,
God.
so like the hollow table in the center lights up, and he begins doing a 4-way split screen of the gun cams of the 4 mechs that were fighting you. So you're seeing the battle, but from the opposite perspective, right? And there's no indication that they even have the Atlas on anything more than extreme range sensors. And when Kenneth Cross is defeated, you get all of their chatter super confused as to what the hell is going on.
This is the proof?
This is what we have. I mean, what do you want?
Couldn't it have just have been as easily what you made than what happened?
Yeah, I mean, yes, we could have made it, Molly, but what time would I have had to do that with? We've been a little busy with a clan invasion.
Bring me Harridan.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think you have a choice.
I think I do have a choice.
Okay, she shoots another round over his other shoulder.
Okay.
Also right next to Harridan.
I mean, pretty much either he unlocks the door or she kills him and unlocks the door.
And at that point, she looks over Rapier's shoulder and points at Harridan and points into Rapier's seat.
I like fiddle with the door.
Rapier
I'm
gets
not
on
gonna
his
ask-
communicator and is just like,
I'm not going to ask twice.
Sir, whatever she wants to call herself, she wants to talk to you. I don't really know.
That's
I honestly don't
fine.
think we should let her in here.
That's
It is
fine.
not a good
So-
idea to put the two of you in the same room, sir. I think she needs some time to process. I think that this negotiation will go better if she just takes a few breaths. Maybe if we get some
I shoot
water in
again.
here.
Rapier,
Let
I
me go in the
suggest
room.
Bandito. No.
Yeah,
Sir.
when Bandito talks, he immediately turns the communicator off.
God damn it.
The door swings open as he just presses some buttons on the conference room panel.
I like
Is he armed?
Is Harridan armed? I mean, we know he has a sword on him.
always armed. Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching him very closely then.
The door shuts behind you.
I move over and I sit down at the head of the table and lace my fingers and put them on the top. Well then, this is a bit tense, isn't it?
So you must know then.
I was informed.
Because
How
if you
long ago?
hadn't-
In game time. How long ago was that?
Like 2 or 3 days.
I was informed a couple of days ago.
I look over at Rapier and I'm like, well, if what you said was true, why'd you keep it from your commander for so long? If you've known since I've been here.
We've been a little busy with a clan invasion, and we needed every mech warrior on deck. Honestly, I wasn't sure how he'd react to. I wouldn't say you were a spy or an operative. I would say, you're kind of like a truth seeker, really, on a journey of knowledge. I've been there before.
I've heard enough words come out of your mouth at this point. Just stop. Where do we go from here? Let's say I believe any of this. Let's say I believe a unit that took an uncertified contract to go murder.
That was loud.
Yeah, it's pretty rough over here.
It's setting this tone, really.
Let's say I believe a unit that took an uncertified contract to go illegally commit a terrorist act on a planet to steal war material, that they're not responsible for a death where they were the only combatant on the field at the time of that death. Let's say I believe that, which, let's face it, I don't. Where do we go from here?
Well,
this is untenable.
It is. May I speak?
Mm-hmm.
You were on that field as well, I'm guessing.
I was.
You saw where we were. You know what our mechs, what mechs we were piloting. You know what those weapon loadouts even are. Let me ask you this: you know where he was. How could we have possibly have even struck his mech? Answer me that. Also, we weren't even aware that Kenneth Cross was on planet.
That's a lie, because he showed up. There were
honestly,
news broadcasts.
They learned once they got there, though.
Yes.
Out of character, me honestly, yeah. I don't recall that we were actually aware.
Your
of that.
Unit was thoroughly aware of.
Retcon that statement, then. But
sure.
How could we possibly have fired upon him at that range?
I've been asking myself a lot of questions for a long time, and there have been a lot of answers that I just haven't been able to get, and I've let go of those unanswerable questions. There's a lot of things that haven't made sense about a lot of things, but that doesn't leave me anywhere other than without the one person who took care of me when I needed it the most. And now someone will answer for that.
I understand that, but don't you want to make certain that you're at least getting the correct person?
There were no other faces on the battlefield. I only have this one lead.
How could we have done it?
Who else would have?
I don't have that answer for you.
But if you can't point me in another direction, then I only have one to look. And it's at you.
Even though nothing about that. You saw the battle footage for yourself, plus you were there.
Are you not hearing what I'm saying?
From both sides, you know that we couldn't have done that.
I only have one destination. And if you can't tell me where it ends, then it ends right here with you today, right now. Now, I don't expect you to have all the answers, because I don't. If I did, then it wouldn't have taken me this long to get to where I wanted to go. I've been with 4 units. It's been a long road. And now I'm finally found the people who were there when he died.
We were there when he died.
And you're saying exactly what the person would say if they were sitting in front of me, looking down the barrel of my gun, and you're going to come up with a story about how it wasn't you. But there was no one else there. You can sit there and say it was impossible that you could have done it, but that doesn't make it any more probable or possible that someone else who wasn't even there could have done it.
Lack of evidence does not equate to evidence of lack. Have you ever heard that term before?
I'm not a court of law. I'm just a pissed off person.
I understand that. Just because we were there doesn't mean we were the ones that did it. You've seen us. You've been with us. You know what we have technologically available to us. You know from what your own eyes that we couldn't have possibly been the ones to have actually caused his death. Not to saying that we probably wouldn't have had he gotten within our weapons range. That would have been a straight up fight and we would have fought, possibly won, possibly lost. But that's not what happened. You saw all the footage. You heard how we reacted to it. Yes, we could have doctored it. You could jump through as many hoops as you want trying to think up reasons and justifications to how the evidence doesn't point to where you want it to go. But the fact is, that is where the evidence points. I knew who you were 3 days ago. I chose to trust you because I know you're an intelligent person. I know you're an honorable person. That is why I chose to continue trusting you. It's because I respect you. And that's why I'm sitting in here right now, because I do still trust you and I do still respect you. We are not the ones that killed him, but I respect that you want answers and you want to find out who did. I'm not even saying I can help you with that, but sticking with us gives you the best chance to be able to actually figure out the answer to that question.
So Rapier just looks like, well...
It's better than zero.
She's hearing like half of what he's saying, and then the other half is playing back in her head when he said, we would have killed him if we could have. She's like, maybe that's all I need to feel justified.
He was an enemy combatant.
I think Bandito knocks on the door.
I haven't decided if you're my enemy combatant yet.
Can I like get control of this door just in case?
You can try to hack the door.
What is security electric?
Yep.
Thingamabob.
I want you to know that if that door opens, she will no longer be able to cover everyone in the room, which means someone will die. I can't tell you who she's going to shoot.
And
But if a third person walks in, and I'm telling you this out of character. I'm telling you this out of character so you know this is a player-to-player courtesy. She will shoot someone if you open that door and a third person enters the room.
I'm not going to, I just want to get control of the door.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
I know. I'm fully aware of the situation.
I don't want your character. I don't
All
want
right,
anyone's
Pondo, just
character to die.
pick a set of die here. Come on. We're burning nightlight.
10.
No. You try to hack the door, and a message that comes up, it says, you didn't say the magic word. And Rapier, like, turns and looks behind him, and is just like,
For the sake of time, because I don't know, Molly's just a mess. She's lost her resolve. She doesn't know what's what anymore. She doesn't have any kind of connection to these people. She doesn't particularly care if they live or die. But Harridan's words have more or less rung true, and probably what rings true about them is they sound a lot like something Kenneth Cross would have said, right? Like he would go with that like trustworthiness and I trusted you. You'd like, those are kind of some of the values that he instilled in her. So to hear them,
nothing from Rapier, okay?
No, not so much.
Rapier doesn't resonate with you, but Harridan does. Okay, that's fine.
Well, he wasn't on Rapier, so he talked about being there and seeing it, but he wasn't in command. So he can't hold himself. He can't be responsible in Molly's eyes. Only the person who's in charge can be responsible. So while he's ground zero witness, who's not the one making decisions in the field. So he can't be held responsible because that's another value that Kenneth Cross taught her, was that leadership that's where the buck stops. That's the final word. That's who's responsible for all life and death on the battlefield. Is the person who's in charge. She accepted a long time ago. She might never know the specific individual who got him killed, but as long as she knows who is in charge of the people who got her killed, then that would be good enough for her. But now she doesn't particularly want to shoot Harridan. but she also doesn't know if she's going to make it out of this room alive. So she will, with tears still rolling down her face, but no other discernible emotions, she will place Rapier's pistol back on the table.
I'm hearing a lot of internal dialogue, but I haven't seen anything.
I'm describing what she's doing. She's going to place his pistol back on the table and slide it back to him. And
now, you've loaded a magazine into this pistol, correct?
Yeah, his pistol's loaded.
All right.
And she will holster hers, and she'll stand up and just say, permission to be dismissed.
We have incoming clan forces that should be here in about 2 hours. I suggest you get yourself sorted.
She just starts walking towards the door.
Sir?
She stands in front of it, waiting for it to open.
Sir? What are we doing here?
The situation is resolved.
Well, at least I got my pistol back. He beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. The door opens and Bandito is standing right there. He's like fiddling with the...
like on one knee with 2 wires, just...
She'll just walk past him. I mean, she'll push him if she has to, but she'll just walk past. She doesn't go out of her way to like shoulder bump him or anything like that. But she's leaving. She's gonna go have herself a good cry.
I mean, you've had a bad day.
Yeah.
Take it one down.
And like after she's well away, just Harridan just lets out a long exhale. And like his hands leave the table and they're shaking.
Sir, after the whole combat thing, we might need to talk.
Very well.
Just us two.
In the meantime, everyone has work to do. I suggest we get to it.
Do you need a change of pants, sir?
I'll be fine.
So Rapier enters into the base's, like project manager task system for someone to remove 3 bullets out of the conference room, but sets it for lowest priority.
My cowardly dogs are curled up under my desk on my feet.
When I see that, I'll tag that for Molly Olson.
Wow.
Go get your bullets.
Molly, where are you going? To your room?
To her room, yeah.
As you go to lay down in your bunk, your communicator lights up with a new task. It's the only one on your list. Remove 3 bullets, conference room A door.
She swipes that notification away, and then she goes to like a folder that has all of her research and all of like basically her version of Bandito's conspiracy wall, right? Like
yes.
her digital like tracking down the unit that was responsible for Kenneth Cross' death. And she, with hesitation, but then with resolve, she drags it and drops it in the trash, and then collapses on her bed.
I feel like very briefly in the background we hear Kenneth Cross's theme playing, but it's like the unplugged acoustic version, but there's like a slight tremor to it as if a newbie is playing it. And as that happens, Harridan is walking away, and it's just Rapier and Bandito. And Rapier finally stands up and walks next to Bandito and says, "You know, I had to lie to her in there. I said that we weren't responsible. I told her it was space magic, and that's more or less true. But I'm on to you, Bandito. I know that you killed Kenneth Cross." And
did you actually say it was space magic? Because that just sounds absurd.
I'm going to be able to prove it.
Okay.
Because you forgot one thing, Bandito.
Let's come up.
What?
Your gun cam footage.
What gun cam footage?
When you were on that other planet, I don't know what happened to you, but you didn't wipe the gun cam footage on your Devastator when you returned. I saw everything. Kind of. It looks like your mech was upside down for about half of it.
You saw my movie?
I know. And I just want you to know that I know. And I want you to know that she doesn't know. Because if she ever does, you'll be dead.
You confuse me, man.
You don't have to lie anymore, Bandito. I know.
Sure.
As he leaves, he pulls out sunglasses, puts them on, and does like space magic as he walks backwards. And he does like one of these. Doesn't look like he's like weird with it. You could tell that he's coming down from that adrenaline high, and he's just completely woozy.
Need to get that guy checked.
I'm gonna keep an eye on you.
Okay. I'm used to that.
All right. Several minutes later, who attends the debriefing that's being hosted by the doctor, the doctor?
I do.
I will.
How long?
10 minutes.
No, Molly's still in her room having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too.
She doesn't recover in 10 minutes, that's for sure.
Look, man, I got a pedicure today, and it took me more than 10 minutes to recover, all right? I get it. Finding that your dad was killed by space magic.
Like, well, look around. Well, someone take notes for Ronan, please.
So Jerome says, very well. Here's the information you need to know. 2 Donald assault helicopters are approaching this base. They're 1 hour and 50 minutes out. On board are 2 points of elementals. That's 10 infantrymen. As they approach, we intend to allow them clearance into the airspace, and we will activate the defensive grid while they are hovering. There are approximately 20 large laser turrets located around the base. I can assure you that while a Donner might sustain 40 millimeter machine gun fire, it cannot, in fact, take repeated large laser strikes. In mere seconds, everyone inside will be perished or falling to the ground. At that point, however, I think it will be very obvious to the clan superiors that this base has fallen. As of right now, they have no idea.
Very good. I still want mechs ready to scramble just in case.
Current mechs that you have are all that we have available.
So that'll leave, because I don't think taking my mech back into a fight would be a very good idea at all.
No.
We'll assign the Flashman and the Marauder too.
You want to assign the Devastator as well, or just want to leave the Devastator?
Yeah, send the Devastator too, just in case.
All right.
Now, it will take some time in order for all of the battlefield cleanup to be performed. I'm sure you've already realized there's a lot of salvage out there. It's going to take at least one technical team. I suggest, from what I have been able to liaison with our techs, you have one extremely newbie team whom we can put on that. Our clan techs will begin attempting to pull apart the clan salvage, specifically these mad cats. Now, as you can see here, several of these mad cats are recoverable and several are not. Mad Cat A and B are almost completely intact. C, D, and Prime are basically destroyed. We have several supplies within the base that are available for use. These represent essentially the last stockpile of the clan forces. Across the planet, the clan ammunition and armor resupply have hit critically low levels. Our unit was the only one that had really any resupply left. Even then, we only had enough for one load.
Yeah, question about that. Why, if you guys had such low ammunition, why did you guys come here and, you know, do the trial of annihilation thing?
I assume that there was a belief that the defeating Crow's Black would happen very quickly. As you can
Well,
see, it did not.
I'm happy to disappoint.
From what I can tell, the clan military forces have lost roughly half of their effectiveness, but some of the most deadly war machines that have ever been created are still up and running to some level of effectiveness. And the Galaxy Commander is extremely cunning, motivated, and well armed.
I would expect nothing less.
Do you perhaps know where the rest of our crew is?
We have not been able to find your forces. The Countess escaped the base before we were able to find her. We caught some of the dropship crew here. I was not part of that landing. I was assigned to the reserve ship taking the capital, Planetary Command Center.
Do you have any word about where our other lances may be?
I assure you, had word come to us, you would have been annihilated. For some time, apparently the clans have been tracking you, with the attempt to goad you into attacking this base. Apparently the Galaxy Commander initiated some sort of deception with Comstar in order to create fake footage to draw you here. Something about a dropship bay.
It was very convincing.
I'm sure it was. Comstar seems to be the worst of the Inner Sphere.
Well, you won't find any disagreement from me right now. Well then.
Is there anything specific that you would like me to address with you? Otherwise, we can get down to salvage operations. But perhaps you would like more intelligence?
From what you are aware of, aside from these incoming forces, are there any other forces remaining on the continent?
You mean clan forces?
Yes.
No.
And do you have any intelligence on any other remaining planetary forces?
Yes.
Crow's Black or otherwise?
There is some manner of remnants. So he pulls up the battle map, essentially what we're looking at right now, and says, "There's a vehicle factory, Foundation Industrial Works. It's very large. In fact, it would serve the clans rather well. It's probably one of the largest facilities I've ever seen. Essentially a massive super city that is entirely built around combat vehicle production. Several clan elemental forces have been detached from their supernovas and novas in order to engage vehicles and infantry there. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of workers have risen in defense, and the going has been slow. Essentially, Foundation has been holding out in a constant battle since the day that we landed. Now, I can't say how much longer that battle will last. Of course, they're capable of producing more war machines, but not quickly. They, however, do have essentially unlimited ammunition and supplies. And the elementals are not faring well. I had to treat some of their more conspicuously wounded, but unfortunately we're not capable of replacing arms and legs in the field here without time, which we do not have.
And where is that foundry located?
Over here. Right here. This place right here.
Oh, I apologize. You misheard me. I was speaking specifically to the continent we're on at the moment.
There are no clan forces left on this particular continent.
What about planetary forces? Are you aware of any?
I am aware of one remaining planetary force. I must admit that we believe that there is a way to get in contact with them. We could briefly attempt to use whatever clan tech we have here to punch through the broadcast barrier and get in contact with them. if that's something that you would like, but we would only have several minutes.
That should be all we need if they're our forces.
Yeah,
Very
how
well.
do you know of a way that we can take out this jamming, or is it done?
It's being
Out in
done
space.
by a series of dropships and satellites in orbit. The carrier class is up there dropping satellites left and right using the fighter craft, the Omni fighters that we brought with us.
It's basically no chance for us at the moment.
Secondly, I'm guessing there's no dropships landed in our continent either.
Not currently, but of course that could change within several hours. It would only take 6 hours for a dropship in orbit on the other side of the planet to reach us.
How many dropships are up in orbit?
Well, that's somewhat more difficult to say. We brought numerous dropships with us. There are
Well,
at least 4 that have been in consistent orbit. I understand that our second jump ship managed to procure several of the inner sphere jump ships and drop ships. We took about 20 back beyond the periphery.
Good lord.
Yes, well, it has left us with no Marines and no secondary force.
They didn't take our jump ship, did they?
I wasn't aware that you had a jump ship. You don't have a jump ship.
We don't have a jump ship.
I mean, a drop ship. I'm sorry.
We have not been able to locate the drop ship. It has been moved by the Galaxy Commander someplace. When we claimed this base, he took it and had it flown somewhere. I'm not sure where.
I feel like that's a bad thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing. All
Well,
right.
it is what it is. Let's see if we can get in contact with those remaining forces and get everyone prepped for those incoming aerial units.
Should we wait until the air units are out of here to get in contact with them? So that way they don't veer off and try to intercept our forces?
I honestly don't think it will matter. What do you think? What do you think, the Doctor?
I would honestly prefer to wait until after we have defeated those Donners.
Well, then let's wait until after we've defeated the Donners.
2 hours later.
2 hours later.
2 hours later.
Have you perhaps joined us, Black Rabbit and Ronan, in the command center?
Black Rabbit has no idea what's going on.
Well, at this point, the bodies have been cleaned up, and someone has calmed you to join the command center room staff.
Okay. Then yeah, I should come in.
Yeah, like as you as you were watching, someone was probably just like, Black Rabbit, don't fire on those incoming helicopters. Just let them go over the base for a minute. You watch as like 2 big military helicopters just flew over the base. They like spotted your mech and looked like they were gonna fly around for a moment, and then they got hit by like 20 large lasers and exploded. Someone's like, you can come in now. We got somebody dealing with the bodies.
Right.
Wow, that was actually a good purchase, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Where the hell was those things when we got dropped up on?
Just be thankful those things weren't firing at us.
Fair. I'm surprised they didn't hack into them by the time we got there.
It was not a priority for us. You
Reminds
might
me
have
of
noticed,
when-
but we clansmen do not tend to use static defenses.
That's what happened to the helicopters right there.
Black Rabbit walks into the command center in the background. She's lit by the silhouette of the exploding assault helicopters.
Everyone in the room screams in terror.
Now, should we try to get in contact with our second lance or one of the whatever lance we can get a hold of?
Molly does show up, but she's wearing aviators.
Does she have like a bandana covering her face as well?
No, just aviators.
Sheridan like looks at her and just double take with a sunglasses. Like,
What kind of aviators?
Like the super silvery reflective ones.
Like, do they look expensive?
No, probably not. They're probably like gas station aviators.
So just lean into Maud, like, I'll get you better ones some other time.
Thank you.
Rapier goes to stand on the other side of Molly, as if she hadn't threatened to kill him, and fired 3 bullets very close to him. He doesn't say anything, he just stands there nonchalantly. Very rapierish. His pistol, however, is holstered on the other side, away from where she can easily get to it. Alright, well, we have the contact information for one Colonel Corin Denali. He is the senior military officer left on planet, from what I understand.
well, wait, and this person is on our continent?
No. They're
Oh.
simply the only remaining viable force left. They're outside the planetary command center. They've been engaging in hit-and-run battles.
I don't know if you can see my lights
Yes,
flickering.
we
in my
definitely
house.
saw it. It was 100% very easy to see.
Well then, might as well ring them up.
So he starts a clock that shows the countdown to 2 minutes, and he's like, we have to hang up before this is done. So a man answers. He's got, the top of it, his head is bald, and then the rest of it is like short, military cut silver and like gray black hair. He looks like he might have been half ape at some point. Like, this dude is just huge, hunchbacked, super pale, like maybe he hasn't seen the sun in a year or two, and it's just like, this is Colonel Corin Denali. I'm taking command of the Kolovrati Planetary Defense Forces. Who am I speaking with?
Captain Maxwell Harridan, Crow's Black. Good to hear your voice, Colonel.
Sir Harridan, I do not recognize you as the commander of Crow's Black. That unit has been defeated and essentially destroyed. I am calling upon you, sir, as a member of the Lyra nobility. Your unit is to report to the Planetary Command Center immediately to aid the militia in taking it back. I am using my authority as the Federated Commonwealth's most senior military officer on planet. Acknowledge my order.
Stand by.
I said acknowledge, God. The clock starts
Sir, we
running.
don't
I
have
mean,
much
clock's
time.
running down. You have less than a minute.
Well, do we feel like going to another continent and screwing with some clan mechs? Thought so.
Sir,
Yes.
we don't have anything going to be able to get to another continent.
Oh, that's fair. Colonel, we're unable to transition to your position at this time. We will work on complying with your order as soon as we are physically able to do so. I will do my best to keep you apprised of our situation as the situation progresses.
I don't like how this conversation is going, Sir
Neither do
Harridan. I look forward to kicking your ass in person as soon as you get here.
As do I, Colonel. Time's running
I look
out, though.
forward to watching it.
Okay, like as you say that, he looks surprised and turns to look at you on the holoviewer, and at that point, Jerome cuts the comm feed.
Well, that one's got some character.
Feels like you'd make some great fried chicken.
Really? You thought that was a Colonel Sanders?
Bandito, only you would. Never mind.
What,
Anyway,
sir? Say it. Say it.
I do believe we had an unknown signal up to the north that might have been some of our wayward children. We should probably go check that out.
I've only been saying that the entire time, sir.
I know you have. We had to take care of the helicopters first.
You know, that's
Now I'm giving you permission to go.
fair. Okay.
So Rapier
Okay.
says, who are you taking with you, Bandito?
Who wants to go with?
Well,
Well,
I'd like to go with you, but I feel like we should definitely send someone to go let Bubba know that we're all right.
I can't think of anyone better for that than Black Rabbit.
Well,
Do you know what I think we should do? is we should take a moment. For once in the entire time I've been on this planet and relax.
We can send like maybe one of the Loki agents or something.
So Rapier
that's fine.
just like pulls a beer out of his pocket and then just pops the top off and hands it over to Black Rabbit.
She just chugs it.
Me and Rapier will go do our thing up north, see what we can find.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
You can, I'd say, send maybe one of the Loki agents over to.
Yeah, I don't think we should send Black Rabbit to go see. I mean, she is a mech warrior of one of the only functional mechs we have. Also, she seems like maybe she needs to distress a little bit.
Yes, she has expressed a desire to be able to chill, I believe the term is, for a bit. So I will take her recommendation. In the meantime, I do believe I need to seek out some medical aid. It's banged up and all that.
I am a doctor.
I would be very appreciative.
Where are we supposed to go?
That literally just leaves Molly standing at the table as everybody else leaves.
Yeah, it's to
No
go
one
tell
has given you
Bubba.
any orders.
Black Rabbit didn't leave yet.
She'll say,
Well,
I mean,
I wasn't actually leaving yet. But
when people are debating, she'll speak up and say, I'll go. I need to be doing something. I'll go, but I'm taking that. And she points at the Mad Cat B.
So
does that thing even have a cockpit?
Jerome's just like, we'll be able to get that working in about 6 more hours.
And that's when I'll go.
Perhaps you'd like to take a rest.
Yeah, see you in 6 hours.
When you're done, yes.
Just Molly, how about
I'm sorry, we didn't have an intelligence file on her. Is she like that?
Yes,
Okay, I understand.
perfectly fine. Though.
I'll just be updating her psychological profile here.
Molly can rest? We'll send some of the Loki agents over to.
It's tech. Does he say that?
Yes.
I look at Harridan. Sir, I'm more than happy to perform this duty. I'm not comfortable sitting around here with nothing to do.
I
She says,
understand.
with her aviators on.
Go with them. Unfortunately, I don't think there will be any.
Well, the issue is we shouldn't send a clan mech over to Bubba without any like.
Rapier's like, it's fine. What's it gonna do? Fire a pistol at it?
No, I mean, I was saying that she could go with them up north to check out the signal that we knew was up there. I thought that's where everyone was going.
No.
No,
Just Rapier and Bandito.
we're just going in like a car. We're not taking mechs.
Okay.
Rapier turns and looks at Molly and is just like, I'm not sure I'd want to be in enclosed space with her for any period of time for a little while.
She'll be fine. Molly,
Will I be fine, sir?
for all we know, there aren't any clan. He just lost power.
We lost Red.
Well, I think
He says he's alive. He'll be back.
I was going to say that Beans, there aren't any other clan forces on our stretch of land right now. He's probably fine. She's probably fine just taking her Flashman over there.
Yeah, I think we should still send some Loki agents over while she's resting, waiting for the Mad Cat B to go.
Why?
That way, they got a heads up saying, "Hey, there's going to be a clan mech coming this way. Don't fire up the cauldron born and try to shoot
driving
her."
her Flashman.
Sure.
Let's wait to continue
already
this
have.
conversation until Rad's back, because I'm pretty sure he's going to go, no, I want the Mad Cat.
I'm pretty sure too. Actually, let's and then send Loki agents, then send one of the movers with Rad.
Aren't the
with-
Loki agents also doubling as Aztecs?
Yes, they are.
We
And
need
by
them
Aztecs, they're
here-
doubling as real techs.
Yeah, we need them here doing that task as much as possible.
They're not part of the good old boys.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does. Because we have like 4 clan
You have
techs.
3 units of clan techs.
It's we needed to be all hands on deck fixing this stuff. I mean,
Okay.
I've got no mech. I have no need to go with you guys up north. I'll probably be down there working on mechs too after I get myself patched
Your mech
up.
is functional.
It can move.
All right, how about this, sir?
It's got lasers, doesn't it? You've got a phone, don't you?
We'll send.
Just because you have the
all-
armament of a light mech doesn't mean.
Less than a light mech, actually. We'll send Molly down with like 1 or 2 of the movers. Try to get the stuff down there, down in that base, over to here. And then soon we'll need to go pick up what's left of that Victor if it's still there.
Yes. Don't we need the movers for salvage operations though?
Nope. They
No?
have salvage equipment here in the base.
Okay.
I mean, it's a Mechwarrior military base. You know, they got like big cranes and shit to haul things around. All right,
Oh,
so
poor
listen,
rat.
Black Rabbit. Rapier has pulled you aside and is just like, no, look. The clans only have one type of alcohol. It's a synthetic alcohol. It's extremely high proof. I will show you where it is located if you will not drink more than a reasonable amount of it.
Why are you telling me this? Like, do you not trust me with alcohol?
I don't know you that well. The first time I met you, I'm pretty sure you either punched Bandito or you drank a bunch of alcohol. It's been a wild ride since then.
And that's why we like her.
You literally just chugged a beer in the middle of a command briefing.
She did.
That's what he. I mean, that's what he's saying. He said,
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yes,
You gave it
I
to
know.
me.
Yeah, I'm aware. I thought you'd might sip on it, maybe, or.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm just worried that you might have an alcohol problem.
I don't have an alcohol problem.
Okay. Well,
This is
then
the
you'll
only
have
time
no
you've ever
problem
seen me drink
promising
alcohol.
me. You'll have no problem promising me that you'll drink a reasonable amount of clan synthol.
What is it? Is it organic?
No, it's synthetic. That's why it's called synthol.
It's synthetic artisanal.
What's in it?
Alcohol.
But like, how do they make it? What's actually the
I
products
don't
in
know. It's like very high proof alcohol. Sometimes they combine it with other mixings, call it like PPCs or a Jade Falcon and stuff like that, but more or less it's just pure alcohol.
it? Is it high quality?
I have not tried it.
What if it's disgusting?
You know what? Why don't you just come with me? We'll try it together. I'll cut you off when you get unreasonable.
Okay.
Bandito's gonna be driving anyway.
Are you sure you want to drink then?
So yeah, he like turns and gestures for you to come with. He's like, "What's your problem with Bandito anyway?"
I don't really know. I don't like any of them except for Ronan.
Well, okay, so as you leave the room and you go to the cafeteria, he pulls out like an ice chest, and it's just literally a clear plastic jug labeled synthol. He starts pouring it into 2 glasses. He's like, well, I don't know that Molly's going to be with us for much longer. First off, her name
Why
isn't
won't she?
actually Molly, and second off, she's got some emotional issues she's working through right now.
So,
It'd be
We
great
can
if you
help
were
her
here
emotional.
for her, really. I feel like she needs a friend, and she literally will not let anyone besides you near her. She tried to shoot me 3 times today.
I don't believe that. It doesn't sound like Molly.
Yeah, she didn't try. If she had been trying,
He
Okay.
pulls up his phone and shows you the work order for the 3 bullet holes in the conference room. He's just like, that was her.
I'm sure there's lots of bullet holes in this building right now.
Nope. Just those 3. So he pours
Doesn't seem
you.
like a surprise.
He pours you several fingers, 3 fingers of synthol, and he says, "It is not good. It is very vodka-like."
I've never had vodka, so I'm not quite sure.
Tastes like alcohol. It stinks like alcohol
Alright.
too.
I'm gonna pour like a second cup, and then I'm gonna take it and just walk out of the room.
He's like, "Okay, great talk, awesome." He grabs your original cup and drinks that.
No, I want to take 2.
Oh, you want to take both cups?
Yeah.
All right. He pours more into his cup and then drinks it and says, "It's tough." We cut back to Bandito and Murder 6 standing around. In the background, Jerome is doing the Mass Effect thing where his character is going through typing animations and pulling up like mech displays. You can see he's doing administrative work.
He's calibrating the table.
Look, man, if you don't calibrate those guns, you're not going to get through that suicide mission. That's all I'm saying.
He's not playing Galaga or Clan Galaga.
We just
Right,
thrown it in. I think this might need to be the end of the episode right here. Hello.
Oh lordy.
Let's do some outros. I'm going to start as Raddosaurus. I'm Raddosaurus. I don't do a lot on the internet. I don't really check my Twitter, but my commissions will be open soon. You can find me on Arthur's Discord by just typing @Raddosaurus. Just say you or hey you. I mean, currently
it was user error. Rad's coming back.
Okay.
All right, we're still gonna wrap up, but I'll let him do his own outro. Instead, I'll do my outro. We won't have an episode next week. It's totally my fault. My show's shut down for a week. But the great news is that while I'm gone, a secret project will be released. 6 episodes of a secret project that we've been working on for a little while will be dropping just so that you guys have something to watch every day for like an hour. No big deal. Just a little present from me to you. Kind of. It'll be awful. It'll be really, really bad. Like the worst. All right. It'll be okay. All right. It'll be. That's it. I'm going on vacation.
Have more faith in yourself.
My intention is no internet at all for the whole vacation. This does mean that I will lose my login bonus streak for Fake Grand Order, but that is a sacrifice I will have to make. That is a sacrifice I'll have to make. Because I have to tell you, waking up every day and reading the newspaper might be driving me crazy. Rad, we're back.
I'm back for real this time.
Great. We're now doing outros.
Sweet. What a miss.
Oh, well, I started doing your outro, but then we heard that you were coming back. So why don't you do your own outro?
Okay. I'm back. There's a thunderstorm here. I don't know
we
if you
could
noticed or
tell.
not. That second time my computer just went off, that's because I was running around turning off lights and I flipped the wrong switch that goes to the outlet that my computer's plugged in. So that was user error 100% completely. But I'm fine. Everything's fine here. My dogs are not fine, but all the humans are. And that's good. I had a lot of fun tonight. I was not prepared to play that scene out. That's fine. That's probably how to get the most genuine response out of people. So I think that went probably about as well as it could have. I had to open my sheet early on because I thought there was a really good chance Rapier was going to die. Fortunately, he did not.
Don't worry, he has a lot of edge.
So
You
does
probably
Molly.
would have thought he was dead. Walk forward, shot him in the head a few times. Then in 6 episodes, he'd come back with a bandage over his face and I bet you'd be like, "You thought I was dead, Molly, but I'm back." He rapiers you.
So I don't know. I'll have to think over the next 2 weeks what the emotional fallout of all of that will be and how things will end up. It'll probably be mostly in the hands of her peers, I would imagine.
Don't worry, Black Rabbit's coming to you with very strong alcohol.
I believe that is true and also probably needed. So I think she'll do probably what a lot of people do when they're under a lot of mental and emotional stress, and that's try to make herself as busy as possible, as much as possible, to not have to deal So that's her plan, to not have to deal, is to be as busy as possible. So that's why she'll volunteer to do anything and everything, probably with little to no regard for her own personal safety. Yeah. Other than that,
Harridan won't let that last very long.
no, yeah, probably not. which is completely reasonable. Yeah, that's exactly right, Sun Spirit. She's going to make bad life decisions because that's what people do in situations like this. That's the most realistic path for someone to take. Yeah. I tried to be I'm not a super emotionally driven person, so it's hard for me to play one. So I just, even though everything Rapier and Harridan were saying was 100% logical and made total sense, and if it had been me, I've been like, oh, okay, sure, that makes sense. But I'm trying not to play that person. I'm trying to play an emotionally driven person who lives only for revenge at this point in her life. So I tried to be as inconsolable and angry as possible.
I
I thought
understand,
it was
man.
really good because if a person's, when a person is motivated by revenge like that, and they're basically told, you've got, with everything on the plate laid out in front of you, you basically got no freaking chance of accomplishing this.
I mean, honestly, I'm shocked that you didn't have an edged weapon out and go, my name is not Molly Olsen. You probably killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yes. Yeah, so that was interesting to have that situation forced on her to not play it out on her terms. So I think that'll be yeah, it'd be really interesting character development for her. So I'm excited for that moving forward.
Rad's like, well, Molly leaves the show next episode. Fortunately, McGurk comes back. He appears out of one of those space magic holes. He also brings a bunch of Solaris gladiators with him.
He's like, who the fuck took my shirt? I left my shirt right here. No, I had a good time. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. I cannot yet control the weather. One day soon, but not yet. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Had a good time.
Speaking of difficulties, technical or otherwise, let's talk to Murder 6.
Yeah, ooh, that got tense for a little bit there. I was like on a knife's edge.
I only got worried after the second
up
bullet.
a new character.
Oh yeah, I was literally like, no, don't come into this room. And you were like, yes, and I was like, no, don't come into this room, Sid. You're gonna die. And you're like, no, I'm coming in the room. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever.
That's because that's what Harridan would do.
Harridan likes being in the murder room.
Yeah, I just want the audience to know that was not planned, and
Not at all. No,
it was a coin flip as to whether or not a PC was or a favored NPC was going to die. It was absolutely 100% possible the entire time.
That's actually why Harridan hadn't said anything yet, because he was wanting to take some time to build some of that trust up there.
I will also say, though, I want it to be known, because I support good, healthy player relationships when you go out and play role-playing games, is that everybody knew this backstory about my character, and we had all discussed it, and we were all on the same page with the potential of PC death as a result at the end of this plot line. So I would encourage you that if you thought that was neat or want to do something like that in your own game, it's important to keep lines of communication open and don't just drop surprise bombs. So some surprises can be fun, don't get me wrong, but if a potential surprise in your campaign is to have your PC murder another PC, then both players need to be on the same page, I think, for that to be a fun event. So while I have been playing that close to the vest to the audience, all of us have known her backstory since inception, essentially.
Since before the first episode with her, yeah.
Right. So that's I
didn't know about it until a few episodes in.
That's true. But that's because your character was never in danger, because she likes your character and your character had nothing to do.
Yeah, your character wasn't involved with the incident.
Yeah, so it wasn't a purposeful secret.
I was also told before dangerous stuff happened anyway.
That's right. So that's my little footnote to that situation. Not to step all over Sid's outro, but
yeah, no, that was tense. It was emotional. I wasn't entirely certain I'd be able to find the right wording to be able to avoid death.
I wasn't either.
But the stakes were very real, and yeah, it would have been interesting. Like, well, shit, that sucked. Welcome to my new character, Adam Harridan.
Haxwell Meriden.
Axwell Meriden. What a surprise. He's an administrator and he yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I love stuff like that. I really do. And it's going to be really interesting as we start branching out and start to take on clanners on the other continents. That's going to be stressful. Hopefully we'll be able to get some stuff and be able to get our lands put back into some semblance of order and get all the mechanicals and the people on the same page again. In the meantime, though, I'm going to be back to making YouTube videos starting tomorrow evening. I've got a bunch of stuff that came out this week that I haven't had a chance to cover, and I'm going to have to start picking and choosing stuff. So don't forget to keep an eye out on that over at youtube.com/SidAlpha. And unfortunately, I will not be here next Thursday because Arthur won't be here next Thursday.
I know it's super rare that I'm not here, but
yeah, we'll be back soon with more Mechwarrior goodness, and we'll see what happens with the emotional fallout behind all of this.
don't worry, Sid. I'll take a picture. I'll take a selfie of me drinking alcohol in slippers and a terra cloth bathrobe, all provided by my butler, next to a full course
So you should take it
meal
next to the
in my
butler.
cabin served by
And
my butler.
Also, another one next to the Nutler.
There's nothing. That's not a thing.
Oh, Red
Alright.
didn't have his headphones on.
It's fine.
Damn it.
It's better that way. You know, Pondo, let's talk to you. You're working a lot. You're tired. I know that your temper is shorter now. You attack me tonight, which is fine. It's totally fine. I mean, it's out of character for you. I deserve it. I feel like I push you all the time.
No, it's just this arc.
It hurt. It hurt deeply. It hurt so deeply.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't remember what you said, but it hurt.
Something about it's like you're making jokes or something when you're saying you're making jokes.
Oh, now it hurts again. All right. When you're not here, what are you doing, Pondo?
I play video games and stuff at Twitch or YouTube /Pondothemad. This was a night. It's going to be interesting how this develops because 100% Bandito is going to probably talk to Molly about it. I thought I said I wiped the gun cam footage from that event, but I guess
I know you said that. However, Rapier is better at hacking than you are.
Just dump a whole bunch of edge into it.
You know what the great part about being the game master is that I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't have to roll for it most of the time. I can just say Rapier counter-hacked you.
Fair enough. What did I have to make to be able to open the door?
12.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, you weren't that far off. Maybe you should have burnt some edge.
No. It
Of course,
wasn't
that
worth it.
would have gotten somebody killed, but
100%.
I wasn't going to open the door. I just want to get access to open the door in case I needed to prevent some shootings going on.
in that position, you wouldn't be able to prevent some shooting. You'd be able to just interrupt the shooting.
Observe.
I could at least take revenge.
You could have absorbed some shooting.
You about to absorb my hand in your face. Because that's the only weapon that Rapier had left.
So it's probably going to be an awkward ride up to the ravine for Bandito and Rapier.
Why? Rapier is going to be fucking toasted.
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
He already knows you're a space magician, okay? You don't have to lie about it anymore. He's told you repeatedly. He knows.
And Molly will get a good 8 hours to the dropship and 8 hours back to be able to process her shit.
We didn't finish that. We didn't finish that conversation.
So she will sleep like 8 hours for the, 6 hours for it to get fixed and then 2 hours to make it a complete
We'll
rest.
cover it next episode. I honestly thought that we would get to the mech repairing, we get all the salvage done, and we work on what the next steps is. We didn't even get that far. All we got to was the drama.
The drama.
The drama. Can't wait for this.
It's probably going to be an explanation to Rapier, and then an explanation to Harridan, and then eventually an explanation to Holly. Or Molly.
Yeah, if you explain how you killed Kenneth Cross to Molly, you will die.
Yeah, if you explain how you killed Kenneth Cross to Rapier, he's going to strongly suggest you never talk to Molly again.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be right.
Will kill you.
Oh my god, he's going to be like, yes, I did kill your father, but it's only because it was a special sideshow called Issei Collision that you can listen to on our Discord. You can find Issei Collision on Discord right now.
No, it's a matter of, yeah, I killed him. It would only be respectful. I killed your father. I might as well be respectful and give you a chance to kill the person who killed your father.
I don't think she
Oh
even
my God.
finished the sentence.
I'm sorry. I know this is all
Got the point.
conversation.
I killed your father. I think she would already be pulling her gun to shoot you in the face.
Molly, Kenneth Cross didn't just kill my father. He killed my entire family. That's why I felt fully justified killing him. I felt like telling you that I definitely killed him.
Yes, many words ago, there would have been a loud bang.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want to be more engaged in this discussion, but my wife is in crisis right now because she was submitting her final exam for a class she's taking when the power clipped off. So she's desperately trying to get that.
Well, look, you can
fixed.
go. You can go if you need to.
No. I mean, I can't fix it. I'm just,
Okay.
I'm both being the shoulder and also trying to pay
We'll be
attention.
wrapped
to you
up in a
guys at the
couple
same time.
minutes.
I know. That's cool.
Before we finish Pondo's outro, I do want to note that if you really want to know what happened to Kenneth Cross, hop on the Discord by going to twitch.tv/APGamingREAL, type !Discord. Check in the announcement section. Issei Collision is listed there. You can download the whole podcast. It is not so great in quality. We're working on making better podcasts in the future. But you can find out what did happen to Kenneth Cross. Where is the space magic coming from? Why did that Devastator suddenly have a cockpit door with like a heart on it?
Did we say that's still there, even though it's a new cockpit?
We
Yeah,
did
it's still there.
at that time, but it was erased after the cockpit was replaced several times.
Oh.
It's not there anymore.
Okay.
The super user parameter is still there, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Maisie still has full control of the mech.
That's great.
Pondo, you got anything else you want to tell us about rather than your suicidal plan to have Bandito ruthlessly murdered by another member of the military unit he belongs to?
I mean, it's either Bandito's going to get shot or Molly's going to get shot.
Or neither of you could get shot.
Or he just not talk to her about it and nobody dies. That's that would be great.
It would really bug Bandito.
You know what would really bug Bandito? A hole in the throat.
Yeah.
It's fine. He got his revenge. He's got nothing else.
Oh my god. All right, you know what? Cotton, how's it going? Let's have a lighter conversation.
Hi.
So here pretty soon, Harridan and Black Rabbit are going to be the only two in the unit.
How's it going?
Sorry.
It's going okay.
All right. Do you have anything to say for your outro?
No.
All right. Well, I can't wait for the Molly and Selena conversation.
Yeah, she is going to
That's going to be the opener
Molly.
for the next episode.
right now with
That's going to be a much harder scene for me to do. Being angry is a lot easier than.
Yeah, I understand. Imagine how hard it is for me to play Caratina, man. I think about Caratina every day. I'm like, how can I play an upbeat, idealistic person who only wants to help people, who's very sociable? She wears white colors. She's my opposite in every way.
I gave you a recommendation. I gave you a suggestion that you could do if you felt like it.
I got a suggestion for you. Don't tell Molly. Molly doesn't know. Don't tell Molly. Molly doesn't know that Bandito and me went to a podcast and Ken is dead.
Stop trying to suicide your character into my character.
Yeah, stop trying to commit suicide by Molly. The penalty for that is death.
I mean, I know I now know a way that I could just end Bandito if need
That's
be.
true. If you ever want retirement,
it'd end up nuking both characters though, because
yeah, that's true.
If Molly ends up killing Bandito, then
That's the end of that.
that's the
I mean, Bandito would tell Harridan.
We need to talk about. Look,
it.
next episode, I can't wait for this Selena Molly thing, but we also need to talk about whether or not Rag gets to pilot the Mad Cat. Because he's like, I want the Mad Cat. And while you were gone, Sim was like, you'll pilot the Flash Man. So we'll see how that conversation turns out next time.
That's fine.
I was figuring you go there with a Flashman, come back, and then boom, you got your nice fixed up Mad Cat ready.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, whatever works. I'm not like. I'm not dead set on it.
Plus,
as long as you have that
flamethrower,
flamethrower,
good
right?
point of not scaring the shit out of the people at our base with walking a clan mech up to its front door.
That's logical.
Just one guy with a pistol and a shotgun.
Yeah,
He'll get over it.
You could turn on the loudspeakers and just say, "This is Molly." All right.
Well, he also has a Cauldron Born with the AC LBX 5 in there, so
He's not a mech warrior.
neither is Rapier.
But you don't see Rapier climbing inside mechs and shooting people.
Yeah, but you could just try to use it enough to shoot the LBX 5.
Yes. A battle mech is a giant war machine that uses your brain to help pilot it. You cannot simply walk inside it and know how to use it.
Then why do you keep saying that Rapier's going to jump in the mech and try to use it to defend himself?
Haven't said that.
You've said it many times.
I've never said that.
You've said it several times.
Rapier's not a mech warrior. That's why he has so many edge points, because he spent all of his XP he would have had for mech warrior training on edge.
Fair enough.
That's it. Do we have any final closing words?
No.
I want to thank Rad for his restraint and not killing Rapier. It would have been real sad to lose him.
I got to be honest.
I feel like several gunshots to the head is not something I can edge away.
The fact that it was Rapier made it more enticing because, like, this would be a very impactful death. Like, this would be.
You're a monster.
If she doesn't get a shot at killing a PC, this is the next best thing.
That's
like
what George Lucas said. Whenever you want to drive home an emotional punch, what do? You kill the family dog.
That's right. That's right.
That's
when he said, when he sat there and said, "If anyone's responsible, it's me." You don't know how close I came to just saying she pulls the trigger. It was very close because I don't know how rational she is in that moment. But you kept talking, which was saved his life essentially.
That's what I do. I keep talking.
Yep. If he had paused there for too long, then I think that would have. She's not like the hesitation type. Everything's fine here. Don't worry about me.
It kind of makes sense. She might have wanted to hear the why before she killed him.
Exactly. Right. Like,
I'll do you one better. What is Gamora?
what is Gamora?
All right, that's it. Have a good night, everybody. We'll be back in 2 weeks, probably.